Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into another episode of the Los Angeles Rams Insider Podcast on Sports Illustrated. I'm your host, Tom Cavanaugh, and today we're going to be taking a look at a few different things within the organization when it comes to key players from last week going forward, and then also recapping a few major publications and their power rankings for the Los Angeles Rams this week. Today is Tuesday, November 19th, and we're prepping up for a Philadelphia Eagles matchup on Sunday Night Football facing the Rams. Going to be a great game, measuring stick game for this Rams squad to see if they are a playoff team. You got to beat the best to be the best. And right now, the Eagles are playing like one of the best teams, not only in the NFC, but the entire NFL. You can follow myself, Tom Cavanaugh, at TCav30 on Twitter/X. Go to our insider pages at Rams Insider on SI, both on Facebook and Twitter as well. And then also type in your search bar Rams on Sports Illustrated to find all of our content from all of our great writers. This is being brought to you by Fans First Sports Network. Big shout out to them for allowing us to bring you content daily. And let's get right into things, talking about some of these power rankings that were given out earlier today. So we start with our own Connor Orr from Sports Illustrated. He had the biggest jump for the Rams. He put them 13th this week in the overall power rankings after week 11. He had him at 21, so an 8-point jump from a week ago for Connor Orr with Sports Illustrated, and he goes on to pretty much talk all about how Matthew Stafford has been just lighting it up lately. He's thrown 10 touchdown passes in his last 4 games. He mentioned a stat about New England, and this is a huge credit to the offensive line as well. He said New England sent extra rushers against Stafford on 63% of his throws. The Patriots' final stat line, 4 QB hits, 0 sacks. So Stafford was very, very clean in the pocket, and the performance from the offensive line to allow him to perform that way and be comfortable, big reason why the Rams are 13th now in the poll for Connor Orr from Sports Illustrated. Look over at NFL.com's Eric Edholm. He bumped the Rams up 2 spots. He also had them at 21 last week. They are now 19th. And, sitting with a 500 record currently after a 1-4 start, they were in the bottom probably 10 teams after that 1-4 start. So they're continuing to climb up. The Dolphins game didn't do them any favors, dropping them down to that 21 spot by Edholm with NFL.com. But the bounce back performance definitely proved that this team is one of the top 20, at least in the NFL. Could be even better considering Orr had them in the top 15. Going over to Mike Florio with NBCSN and Pro Football Talk. He has the Rams at 15, bumping them up just 1 spot from 16 a week ago. So another writer, and big NFL writer, that has the Rams inside the top 15, and that's good to see. Because this team is only continuing to get healthier. They're improving as the games go on, and they're showing resiliency. After a bad week against the Dolphins, you come out flat offensively. You don't hold a Miami team off enough the scoreboard to win that ball game. They immediately come right back and earn a huge win over the Patriots on the road, traveling 3 different time zones on a short week. Very impressive. And then Pete Prisco from CBS Sports, he didn't move the Rams. He had them at 18 last week. He does once again this week. I think this wasn't an impressive game enough for Prisco to really bump them up. And other teams have been playing well over the course of this week, too. So he was able to move up some other teams, kind of keep the Rams right at 18. And he had just a short and sweet quote to say. He said, they bounced back from their loss to the Dolphins with a tough road victory at New England. They were in the thick of the division race. And that last part there is huge because even though he has them outside the top 15, he's confident in the Rams' chances to be able to be a playoff team. And why not, considering what they did last year, winning 7 out of their last 8 games, sliding into a wild card spot to play the Detroit Lions. It was an unfortunate loss in that game, but still, being able to get to that point after a 3-6 start to the season halfway through the year, there's no reason why they can't do it again. So that's just kind of a look around the league, look at a few different publications and where they see the Rams. Everybody has them inside the top 20, which is a good sign. Some inside the top 15, which is even better. But if the Rams are able to continue to win games, they take down the Eagles this week. My goodness, you could see them, clipping towards the top 10. In Philadelphia, they're always known to lay an egg once in a while. Going to have to do some research, check out their record on the road in L.A., specifically considering Philly very close to where the Rams were just at in New England. They're going to have to travel 3 time zones across the east to the west coast. But the good thing for Philadelphia is they're on a mini bye week. They played Thursday Night Football against the Washington Commanders, earned a big win there, and they got to rest up over the weekend, and they'll have fresh legs, be ready to go against the Rams. We're going to take a look at a few different key players from last week, a few storylines that have come up, starting with rookie defensive lineman Braden Fisk. His 2 sacks in the Patriots game puts him now as the leader of all rookies in the NFL for sacks with 5. I mean, Fisk, he got to the quarterback all day. He was in the backfield. Sean McVay talked about it. Very, very impressed with what Braden has been able to bring to this team in his first season. And it's funny. I mean, you look at that Florida State Seminoles team from a year ago that just missed out on the college football playoff. They had the 2 best pass rushers in that rookie class last year. Right now, it's Fisk at number 1 with 5 sacks amongst all rookies. In second is Jared Verse with 4.5. Both of those guys drafted out of Florida State by the Rams in the very first 2 rounds. So Les Snead, Sean McVay, and the rest of their group said, hey, we like this Florida State team. We like their 2 pass rushers. We're going to go get them, and they got them. And boy, I mean, 9.5 sacks combined so far through 10 games between the 2 dudes. Could not ask for much more from your top 2 picks of this last draft class. And it just speaks to what this entire organization has been able to do, their evaluation of talent and kind of sneaking out guys like Fisk. He's playing like a first rounder. And I know a second round isn't far off, but still, I mean, his production has been unmatched compared to other players in this league currently in their first year. We're going to move on to Colby Parkinson. He is in a backup role, he is now in a starting role pretty much the entire season, and he stepped up big in the Patriots game. He had the touchdown that was the difference in the game, 19-yard strike from Matthew Stafford to the corner of the end zone, Parkinson's first touchdown score of the year. And he was in all season working throughout training camp to be the number 1 guy, considering Tyler Higbee, the go-to tight end last year. He banged up his ankle, a serious ankle injury, or knee injury, against the Detroit Lions in that wild card game that they climbed so far back to get to. And Higbee's been out all of offseason, the entire training camp, the first 10 weeks of this year. I mean, he's really trying to grind and get back in the lineup. It was an ugly injury when he got hit. And we're hoping for the best for him. But at the same time, Parkinson stepped into a big role. He's got over 200 yards on the season currently. His best game was 7 catches for 53 yards a few weeks ago. And he's assuming that tight end role extremely well. Very, very pleased has Sean McVay been with Parkinson being able to be that extra piece. Because right now you got multiple deep threat middle options with Kupp, Nakua, and Demarcus Robinson. You want that tight end for the small checkdowns, the turnaround button hooks, all the different types of routes that a tight end will run for shorter yardages than you'd see from a guy like Puka or Kupp or Robinson. And he's integral to the offense. So seeing him get in the end zone, all the work that he has put in over the years, considering he's a 5th-year player, that's huge. Big ups to Colby for getting in the end zone for the first time. And you could see him in more red zone situations down the stretch, especially this weekend against Philadelphia. The final piece we're going to look at is offensive lineman Jonah Jackson. So a developing story came out today that Jackson, if you went and watched the tape or just watched the entire game of the Rams-Patriots, Jackson was benched for rookie center Bo Limmer. And Jackson, he made his return last week or 2 weeks ago now against the Miami Dolphins on Monday Night Football. And he was out for 7 weeks with a broken scapula. He got hurt in week 2 against the Cardinals, sat out for nearly 2 months, and then came back, did not have the best performance against the Dolphins as Stafford was sacked 4 times. He was not the entire reason that it was 4, but played a little bit of a role as well, just kind of getting back to game speed. So he struggled, and he was moving between the guard and the center position. This week, the offensive coordinator, Mike LaFleur, Sean McVay, they came together and said, hey, it might be best we start the rookie Limmer, just another rookie that has come in and made an impact for this team. And Limmer played well, did not allow a sack, not many quarterback pressures either, as Stafford was kept, clean of the jersey for almost the entire game. But head coach Sean McVay does have confidence in Jackson's ability to return and be a big piece. When you look at what he has done over the years, I mean, Jackson's a veteran. He spent his first several years with the Detroit Lions. He went to an NFC championship game last year with Detroit. Very big piece in that O-line. Detroit let him go, and the Rams picked him up 3 years, $51 million. So with that type of investment, they're going to be giving Jackson as many opportunities as he can get to be on the field. Now, he might have been benched down a little bit just to kind of get him back to game speeds, let him see the game a little bit better. But I think this week you got to play him at least a little bit. If he struggles and he's given up pass rush, then maybe you make the switch over to Limmer. And I don't know if Jackson's more of a center than a guard. I think you'd rather play him at the guard position because that's all he did in Detroit. Frank Ragnow, he was the center, still is for the Lions. And Jackson, it's really tough to move and swap between those two spots. So if he can stay in at that guard position and be successful, Jackson's going to continue to thrive for this Rams team as he continues to build back from his injury. So that's taking a look at the power rankings across major publications in the NFL, and then a few key guys that aren't normally on your radar, like the Staffords and the Pukas and the Cups of the world. So glad we could key you in on some of those things as we get set and prepped for this Philadelphia Eagles Los Angeles Rams matchup. It's the 8-2 Philly Eagles taking on the 5-5 LA Rams on Sunday Night Football. Thanks so much, everybody. We will see you again tomorrow on the Los Angeles Rams Insider Podcast.